أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. In the name of Allah, the most beneficent and the most merciful. Dear students, welcome again in Pakistan International School Type, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, Virtual Learning System, Session 2020. This is English for grade 7. Name of the book is Othello and Other Short Stories from Shakespeare's Plays. Today's lecture number 30, chapter number 1, Othello, reading and explanation, page 1 to 16, plus exercise. So we were doing the reading of this chapter number 1. We have done the reading up to page 9. So we'll continue it. I'm your teacher Adnan Sabir Mirza. So let's resume the next part. The handkerchief. From then on, the deceived Othello had no peace of mind. His work bored him. He no longer enjoyed fighting. His heart seemed to have lost all the pride and ambition, which are a soldier's strength. One second. Yes. All his old joys left him. Sometimes he thought his wife was true to him, but sometimes he believed Iago. One day, he caught hold of Iago and demanded proof of Desdemona's guilt. Iago asked him if he knew his wife had a handkerchief with pictures of strawberries on it. Othello replied that it had his first gift to her. Iago then said that he had seen Cassio using a handkerchief that looked exactly the same. This was a lie, but it made Othello very angry. Othello said that if Desdemona really had given Cassio her handkerchief, it must mean she loved him. He wanted revenge. Iago made his wife Emilia, who was Desdemona's servant, get him the handkerchief. Emilia did not know why he wanted it. She thought perhaps he was going to have the pattern copied so that he could give her a present just like it. In fact, Iago planned to put the handkerchief in Cassio's room. When Cassio had the handkerchief, Iago would be able to prove to Othello that Desdemona was unfaithful. Later that day, Othello asked Desdemona about the handkerchief. He said he wanted it. Poor Desdemona could not find it. This is a great loss, said Othello, angrily. An Egyptian woman, a witch who could read people's thoughts, gave that handkerchief to my mother. The witch told her that as long as she kept the handkerchief, it would make her gentle. My father would love her, but if she lost it or gave it away, then she would lose my father's love too. He would hate her as much as he had once loved her. Page 11. Desdemona was full of grief. She feared that having lost the handkerchief, she would also lose the love of her husband. Besides, Othello's anger worried her. To take his thoughts away from the handkerchief, she began to plead for Cassio once more. This made matters worse. Angrily, Othello left the room. The gentle Desdemona began to suspect that her lord was jealous, but she only blamed herself for thinking badly of him. Men are not gods, she said to herself. We must not expect the same respect from them when they are married, which they show us on our wedding day. Soon afterwards, Othello discovered that Cassio did indeed have the handkerchief with pictures of strawberries on it. Cassio had found it in his room. Cassio said that he did not know how it came to be there, but Othello did not believe him. He decided that this was clear proof of Desdemona's guilt. Later, he ordered Iago to kill Cassio. He said he would kill Desdemona himself. Othello's revenge. When Othello next saw Desdemona, he accused her of being unfaithful to him. He said he wished she had never been born. When he left her, Desdemona felt very tired and sad. She went to bed and cried herself to sleep. As she was sleeping, Othello entered the room carrying a light. Moved by her beauty, he bent over her and kissed her. Desdemona woke up. Othello asked her if she had said prayers. He told her to ask God to forgive her because she was about to die. Poor Desdemona was very frightened and asked him what she had done wrong. She denied all the charges that Othello made against her. She said that she had not given the handkerchief to Cassio, that she had never done anything to offend Othello, and that she had never loved Cassio more than as a friend. She said that if Cassio had the handkerchief, he must have found it somewhere. But Othello thought that she was lying. He had decided that she must die before she could betray any other man. Desdemona asked Othello to fetch Cassio so that he could be questioned. He thought Cassio would tell Othello the truth, and then Othello would realize that that what a mistake he had made. But when Othello told her that Iago had been sent to kill Cassio, she realized she had fallen into a trap. There was nothing she could do. She begged Othello not to kill her, just to send her away, but he just pushed her roughly down onto the bed. As she struggled, she begged him again not to kill her then and there, but to wait for just one day, or if not that, then just half an hour so she could pray to God. It's too late, shouted Othello angrily. He pushed her head down into the pillow so that she could not breathe and held her there until she stopped struggling and was silent and still. Falsely murdered. Emilia knocked at the door. She seemed to be highly excited. She shouted to Othello that she wanted to speak to him. Othello let her in and asked her what was the matter. Cassio has just killed a young Venetian gentleman called Rodrigo, she said. Rodrigo? What about Cassio? Wasn't Cassio killed too? Othello asked. No, said Emilia. Othello was puzzled, but just at that moment, both he and Emilia heard a faint voice calling from the bed. Oh, falsely, falsely murdered, it said. Emilia recognized her lady's voice. She went to the bed and immediately realized that something was very wrong. Help, help, she screamed. Oh, lady, speak again. Sweet Desdemona, oh, sweet mistress, speak. A gentle as death I died, whispered Desdemona, who loved her young mistress, who had done this to you. Nobody, whispered Desdemona weakly. I myself remembered me to my kind lord. Oh, Desdemona's had fell to one side. She was dead. What does she mean? How can she have been murdered? Said Othello. Who knows? Amelia replied. But she looked at Othello suspiciously. You heard her say herself that it was not I. She said, say so, that is the truth. Then she is a liar, Othello shouted out. And like all liars, she had gone to hell. The truth is that I killed her. Othello tried to tell Amelia how wicked Desdemona had been, and that she was a false and unfaithful wife. Amelia would not believe him, so he told her that her husband Iago knew all about it. She said that Iago had told him Desdemona had been unfaithful to him and that she loved Michael Cassio. My husband told you that? Amelia said, clearly surprised. Yes, it was who told me first. Your husband is an honest man. He hates wickedness. Amelia speaks out. Amelia did not think that her husband could have said anything bad about Desdemona. She refused to believe what Othello had told her. She thought she was trying to blame Iago for Desdemona's death. She began to call out very loudly, "Help! Help! Oh, help! The Moor was killed. The Moor has killed my mistress. Murder! Murder!" Soon people came running to see what was the matter. Iago among them. "Oh, there you are, Iago," said Emilia. Someone here is trying to blame you for murder he has done. He claims you told him that his wife was unfaithful to him. Now you tell me, isn't it true? I told him what I thought, and only what he himself could see was the truth. But did you ever say she was unfaithful to him? I did. Then you told a lie, a wicked lie, and did you say she was in love with Cassio? Yes, with Cassio. Now will you stop questioning me? I will not. I have to know the truth. It seems the things you have been saying are the cause of this. Look, my mistress is laying here, murdered in her bed. By then there were many people in the room. Until then, they had not noticed Desdemona. They were shocked and all started speaking at once. Many of them stared at Iago. They began to suspect he had played an important part in this wicked deed. Deed is the doing, is an action. Deed means action. Are you mad? Iago shouted at his wife angrily. Be quiet and go straight home. Amelia was not frightened of him. I know I ought to obey you, she said, but not know, but not now that this has happened. Let me speak the whole truth. Othello began to understand that he had made a dreadful mistake. He fell onto the bed crying with anger and grief. Yes, it is good that you should lie there, roaring like that. Amelia shouted at him. You have killed the sweetest, most innocent young person in the world. Oh no, she was unfaithful to me, Othello shouted. He then noticed that one of the people in the room was Desdemona's uncle. Othello tried to explain to him that he had killed Desdemona for a good reason and mentioned that the handkerchief. Oh God, oh heavenly God, cried Emilia, who then understood what must have happened. Be quiet, woman, whispered Diego, but she would not. I must tell the truth. I will not be silent. I don't care how many of you try to stop me, I will speak. Page 15. You would be wise to be quiet and go home, said Iago. He spoke quietly and coldly and pointed his dagger at her. Amelia took no notice. She stared angrily at Othello. Oh, you stupid Moor! I was the one who took that handkerchief. I gave it to my husband. I don't know why, but recently he has been asking me again and again to steal it for him. You are lying, shouted Iago. By heaven, I am not lying, Amelia replied, and she looked hard at Othello. You murderous animal! Why should a fool like you want to marry such a good, sweet woman? At that, Othello lost control. He rushed at Iago. Some of the people in the room held him back, but Iago turned and ran out of the room. As he did so, he passed close by Emilia and stabbed her. Emilia fell to the floor, dying. Her last wish was to be taken to the bed and placed beside the body of her poor young mistress. Page 16. Almost immediately after this, Cassio was brought into the room, bleeding. He was hurt as a result of fighting with Rodrigo, but not badly enough to die from his wounds. Cassio said that in Rodrigo's pocket they had found some letters which proved the guilt of Iago. Othello asked Cassio how he had obtained Desdemona's handkerchief. I found it in my room, answered Cassio, and Iago himself told me just now that he dropped it there for some special purpose. Othello now knew the whole truth. He was shocked. Too late, he saw how honest Iago had led him to destroy his dear young wife, Desdemona, and to wrong Michael Cassio, his faithful lieutenant, crying out that he had killed Desdemona, whom he had loved, not wisely but too well. He took out a dagger which was hidden in his clothing and stabbed himself with it. He moved slowly towards Desdemona. I kissed you just before I kill you, he said. And now I kill myself. I die kissing you. He bent over her, kissed her gently, and then fell onto the bed beside her, dead. Those present, tho- those present were those present were gently shocked at what had taken place. Othello's noble nature was known to all, but he had allowed jealousy to ruin his good judgment. When he was dead, his bravery and his noble character were remembered. Iago remained to be punished as official left for Venus to report these sad events. So this was the end of story. Now let's immediately move to the exercise questions and activities. Number one, fill in the gaps with the names from the box. Cassio, Desdemona, Emilia, Iago, Othello. Now I will read it for you and the answers. Othello tried to tell Emilia how wicked Desdemona had been. He said that her husband Iago knew all about it. He said that Iago had told him Desdemona had been unfaithful to him and that she loved Cassio. Emilia thought Othello was trying to blame Iago for Desdemona's death. But when he mentioned the handkerchief, she understood at last. She told Othello that she had taken the handkerchief from Desdemona. She said that Iago had asked her to get it from him. She said that Iago had asked her to get it for him, though she did not know why. So this was the answer of question number one. So the answers are written in the blank spaces. You will do the same first in the book, then write the all exercise in your copies and learn them. Number two, okay, this was the whole exercise. So dear students, I hope you enjoyed the story. Uh, it was very strange and adventurous. So this is the specialty of Shakespeare plays, that he always surprise his readers, his audience, by strange ideas, full of action, full of suspense, full of tragedy. So this is the specialty of Shakespeare. That's why he is famous. So if you want to see or read the full story of it, you can buy it or it's available online. So inshallah, see you in the next uh, novel, next story of the novel. So till then, take care and take care of yourself, take care of your near ones and dear ones. Goodbye for now. Assalamu alaikum.